Virgo, welcome to your 2026 Astroclock. I am so excited to be doing this again this year as I have for the last few years. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Leila, the Lenormand Reader, and I use the amazing Lenormand deck. And today we are doing something special. We are doing our once a year annual Astroclock forecast. As you will see, the Astroclock is a large spread. It uses all 36 cards of the deck, and we use it as a way to forecast the year ahead. I want to say thank you for being with me and thank you for tuning into this reading. I certainly hope you're going to stick around, Virgo, as we do the upcoming forecasts. So are you ready for your 2026 Astroclock? I am, Virgo. Let's deal out your cards and let's see what is ahead for you this year. Okay, Virgo, here is your Astroclock. As you can see, this is a big spread, and I'm just trying to line up the cards so it looks okay on camera. I'm trying to create a symmetry in the clock. And so we have all 36 cards on the table, and we group them into triplets or cards of 3. So because we have 36 cards in the Lenormand deck, it comes out evenly to 3 cards per group. So we have 12 groups. This is the year. So we have 12 hours around the clock, and each hour corresponds to a month of the year. You might have noticed that I start dealing out the cards at 12 o'clock or midnight here, but I actually start reading here at 1 o'clock. This is January, and so we read the months clockwise all the way up to December. This is December 2026. And before we do the month-to-month detail, I like to get an overview of the Astroclock. I like to orient myself and get a sense of where the powerful cards are, where the very bright cards, the challenging cards, some of the theme cards, the people cards, and so on. So the sun is here in March and the star is here in February. So these are some really bright messages. And the challenging whip is in August. It comes with the child, which points to a new beginning. And then we have the scythe and we have the divorce combination here with the scythe and ring. So this is a pretty clear message of a change and a separation. And it could pour into November because the road is also a change and travel cards. Now we've got the man in January. We have the dog in April. And we have the woman in July. These are the people cards. And the garden could also be a people card along with the house because they represent the community and your home. So from the get-go, from this overview, it's looking pretty even. We do have some sharp changes happening towards the later part of the year, but until then, things look like they are peaceful and kind of regular, but we do have some strong positive outcomes here. So let's go ahead and start with January, Virgo. We've got the book, man, and moon. The book and moon is a combination of an offer or an invitation. So this man could invite you to something, or they could offer you something, or you could in fact invite him. This could be romantic, or it could be work related. The moon is sometimes a card of work, but with the book, it's mainly about offers. So you could be getting to know someone here, or there could be some peaceful developments and gentle developments with this person. And I say that because the moon is generally a kind and gentle card. Now in February, we have the fox with the star and tower. And this is great across the board because the star is the wish fulfillment card. It is one of the brightest cards of the deck, and it points to wish fulfillment, healing, and all sorts of good things. Now, the fox and tower can be about work. They are more on the practical side of things. You could get a job, you could get a promotion, something that you had been pursuing, usually in the area of admin and legal when it comes to the tower. Things could work out. And you could also find your way to the top. Maybe you are working for a promotion or trying to improve your situation in some area, and you're able to do it. The thing about the fox is that it's a calm and clever card. It's strategic. It knows how to get what it wants. It's definitely a card of discretion. And so have a strategy, Virgo, so that you can achieve your goals. And this is a very supporting month as well. We have the beautiful sun. The sun is another very bright card. It's like the star. And it is supported by the anchor and tree. So these are some very beautiful cards for success all around, for growth. And also the anchor and tree have a suggestion of staying put. And so if you're inclined to make a change, Virgo, I would advise against it, because these cards support you sticking with what you're doing and staying where you are, or building on top of what you've achieved, because it looks like it's very much on the right track. Now in April, we have the ship with the dog and cross. The dog is typically a friend, a person, a colleague, a partner, someone at your level, so to speak. And the ship can suggest a trip, and the cross can mean it's important. So you could be going places with this person. They could be traveling. Maybe you have to travel to see them, or they to you. But there's definitely some steps here. And the cross is not the most joyous of cards, but it does suggest that this is important. I also think that you have, or you might have, some responsibilities here. And the cross can feel a bit heavy, but you have to follow up on this. You have to give it your effort. Now, and before I move to May, one thing I want to say as well is that each of these groups of cards are going to be the basis for the upcoming monthly forecast. So when we get to the individual months, we're going to dive more deeply into each of these groups. I've been doing portraits, and they've been the most popular. I might run a survey to ask if you want me to still do portraits for the month to month, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be yes, because they're the most they've been the most popular, and the format of the portrait is very flexible as well. So we're going to find out more about who this dog is and what this cross is about when we get to April. Moving on to May, we have two news cards. We have the Rider and Bird, and each of these cards are connected with messages, communication, news. The thing about the clouds is that it is a bit of a negative card. It can point to tension, and what it usually does is it confuses matters. So you might have some doubts, or you might be stressed about something. The bird, though, even though the bird can add to the anxiety of things or situations, it is a vocal card, and the Rider is a card that is proactive. So I would say that instead of keeping this in your head and sticking with the stress of it, you can just vocalize it, Virgo, ask questions, seek answers in order to get it out of your head and to find solutions. So clarifying intentions, clarifying thoughts, getting answers is going to be key for you in May. Now, here's an interesting month. In June, we have the Coffin, Lily, and Fish. And this could be a big one. Even though the cards are not very loud, the Lily tends to affect your life as a whole, and it can affect your career. This is different from your day-to-day work, your day-to-day job. The Lily has that bigger picture. So when we see it with the Coffin, we could be looking at a phase of your life that comes to a close. And with the Fish, which is a card of money, we could be looking at a career change, or perhaps a long-standing project or a long-standing milestone completes in your work and business life. Something else that could be coming through these cards is that you may be looking at possibly inheritance, long-term financial goals or setups like your pension, retirement, and things like that. Usually I like the Tower for this, or even the Tree, mainly the Tower for this idea, but it could figure with the Coffin, Lily, and Fish. So maybe you want to look at the long term. I also would suggest here, Virgo, that you avoid making big purchases so soon, and that you postpone certain plans until you have a bigger picture. So regardless of what specifically you're doing with your money, work, and business in the month of June, I would suggest, Virgo, that you slow things down, maybe shelf some projects until you have a firmer picture, or until the timing is better. So take a step back, at least with regards to, the bigger picture, not only of your money, but everything else as well. Now, moving on to July, we have the woman between the heart and bear. This is lovely for a supportive relationship. The heart is a card of feelings, so clearly this is a positive relationship. And the bear is a card of strength and power. It usually points to support and someone's backing. The bear is also the card of the mother. And so with the woman at heart, this could be a focus on your mother or perhaps a parent or someone more senior or someone supportive in general. So whoever this person is specifically, these are lovely cards for getting someone's support. And it could be a boss as well. So nice relationship here. Now, moving on to August, we have the Whip. And the Whip is a challenging card. It's the most challenging card of the deck. And we see it with the Child and Guarded. Now, this can play out in a few different ways. For one, the Whip could be discouraging you from making changes or moving into a new beginning or moving into a different location. It could be discouraging you. Or if it happens, it could be as a result of some challenges. So you could fall out with someone or get into an argument with some people, which cause you to turn into a new beginning. In all cases, August is looking a bit turbulent. You are working through changes and they are going to come. We see them here. So if it's not strictly in August that you're going to make a change, we definitely see the beginnings of it. And it is also a good idea to consider, at least, to be open to different people, places, locations, and networks. So a bit of a turbulent month that is turning into a new situation, a new environment, but not without some challenges. Now, September is a bit difficult as well because we have both the snake and mouse along with the flowers. So the snake, like I was saying earlier, it is a bit like the fox. It points to someone deceptive and dishonest. And with the flowers, it's often someone who is fake and shallow and who pretends to be nice but isn't. And the mouse really adds to this because the mouse can suggest not great intentions. Now, the mouse is not a tragic card. It's not a very challenging card, but it can be a bit aggravated with the snake. So be careful of people who compliment you for the sake of pretending to be nice and these sorts of people. At the same time, Virgo, this could be a good message for overcoming challenges. So this is about regaining your enthusiasm, feeling happy again, and picking up, where you left, sort of. And in terms of health, if you were feeling a little under the weather, stressed, and, just feeling like that, this is a good month to recover. So it can go in a couple of ways as well. And when we get to the September forecast, that's a bit away from now, we're going to dive more deeply into these three cards. Now, here's October, and we have a very strong combination. The Scythe and Ring is the standard, the combination for divorce and separations. And on top of this, we have the Stork, which is also a card of changes and moves. So something is definitely ending. And I really think it builds up on the previous months. Here, it's like it is almost final because this is a very final combination. And it is supported by the Stork, which is in and of itself a change card. So definitely something ends, something separates, you're getting out of something. This could be a relationship, but it could be something else. It could be that you're moving homes, like possibly what we see in November. Or it could be that you're getting out of a job or getting out of some kind of involvement. You're moving something, you're changing something in your life. And then November, we have the Road and House. Now, the more ideal move combination is the Stork and House, but it's still possible with the Road and House, especially since we have the Key, because the Key and House often suggest things related to real estate, typically real estate investments. So when we're seeing it with the Road, you could be moving homes, selling, buying, or just changing. That is possible. And this would also build on the previous months. This triplet, though, is also good for finding the right place and building your projects in the right way. It is a more or less active combination that seems like you are building something solid. So in terms of your projects, this is also a lovely message. Now, December, we have the Clover. The Clover is another very bright card. It is a very lucky card. And we see it with the letter, which points to some good news or maybe news that's unexpected that turns out to be good. The Mountain here can mean a couple of things. It can mean that it's a reference to a place abroad or maybe online, and the communication is with that location. Or it can point to a blockage or things that were delayed, but with the letter and Clover, they come through. So there's some good news here in December. We don't really see from this triplet what the news is about. When we come to doing the month to month, we will dive more deeply into all of this. So overall, Virgo, this is quite an exciting year. We do have a clear change here happening in the second half of the year. With these sharp ending and change cards. It's really sharp. The ring and scythe, this is as clear as it gets. Until then, things are looking pretty good. We have some very positive energies in the first few months of the year. Relationships are also looking generally peaceful. We've got the man here, the woman here, and we saw the dog in this combination, which we need more info about, but these are generally good. You could be making a significant change, and this June triplet, it aligns with the later cards here. So I think this is a standout message for you this year, that there could be a significant change and a significant ending, either between you and someone else, or you getting out of a certain situation. And apart from this, everything else seems to be pretty easygoing. Nothing stands out as much. And like we said, there's some really good success potential here. So what do you think of these messages, Virgo? How do you feel about this spread? Are you envisioning your year based on this? Are you starting to see that it could resonate? And like I said, we're going to take these individual triplets. They're going to be the basis and foundation for our monthly forecast. So I hope you'll stay tuned for these forecasts, Virgo. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let others know about this amazing Astroclock that we do together. Very best of luck with this, Virgo. Very best of luck with 2026. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And again, I hope you'll be sticking with me for the upcoming forecasts. Until next time, take very good care of yourself.